David Harbour is that kid who's the only one that works on the project, but everyone else gets the same grade.
Goddamn group assignments, man. Yeah, everybody gets a F, by the way, on this movie. Hellboy. Wow, we saw this a few nights ago, and I am sorry a little bit for the delay. I've been kind of like all over the place, and then this morning I had the worst stomach cramps of all time. I'm not sure it's because of the wine I drank the night before, or if it's the aftermath of this terrible fucking movie making me sick. I literally can't think of a movie that I have hated more since about Fan Four Stick. I even think that this is worse than Climax, the movie we saw a little bit earlier. Which, that review may be coming, I'm not sure. I just had to format my memory card, so we'll see if that review comes out. But that one was like a 5 out of 10 movie, right? Not the greatest time for me.
Yeah.
And not the greatest time for you.
Oh, no.
And this movie made me so more mad than Climax.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get into it.
This is a bitter movie.
Bitter is a really good word for this.
It definitely leaves you with this aftertaste of just, you want to just like throw it out of your system. I'm usually really good about staying through movies. This one,
you asked.
I didn't even, I was like, do you just want to go? Like, this is it right from the beginning. Just the way the dialogue works and the way that they start the movie, it does not help.
This script is easily the worst thing about it, and every great movie needs at least a good script to work with, and it's not even decent. The way that they just they put the characters on screen, and you can tell by the way the dialogue works here, you know it's a script issue. It's not just the acting, which I do think is a problem, but it's the fact that this script already develops these characters as the worst sides of themselves. Hellboy, let's start with him, the main character of this movie. They seem to think, based on what Guillermo del Toro developed years before, that it was a good idea to not get necessarily the snarkiness of Hellboy, but the grouchiness of Hellboy. So you get a character that's as emo as Kylo Ren ever was, in the worst ways.
No.
But no development or care to put in why he feels the way that he feels, right? Other than he just doesn't like it and then seems to question every single time that his dad actually loves him. Which, in the movie, the script says verbatim that he's the only one that Hellboy can trust.
I want to be free of this pain.
With the weird back turns and stabs in the back that happen.
There is another one that he can trust. The girl he just said couldn't trust. There's a lot of back and forth.
There's side characters here that, like, you sort of, like Hellboy, but then don't like Hellboy, like, 2 seconds later, but then, spoiler alert, they become best friends later, and it's just all over the fucking place. No time is taken in to developing these characters so that you believe their motivations. None of it at all. And the movie tries to do this thing where, like, Hellboy starts to question if he's, like, fighting the right things, but then doesn't really go there because, oh yeah, she's bad, she's evil, you know, the head villainess here, which is this sorceress chick. I can't even remember her name because it was just like, stop.
Yeah.
They tried to bring Mila Jovovich here into the movie as this evil, arch-evil wizard witch thing that used to fight King Arthur back in the day, and then try and reunite that plot point like centuries ago into the modern time with bloodlines and Hellboy's heritage, and it's like, stop! What are you doing here?
Yeah, it's a complete mess.
It's more confusing than a Spanish TV opera.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But not only that, it also has such a systematic plot use. You go through moving in transit with rock and roll music.
That lasts like awkwardly a minute and then just dies.
Yeah,
like,
it just
completely
dies.
dies out of nowhere.
You have Hellboy faint into a different transition, a different setting.
2 to 3 times in this movie.
Yeah. I am usually one to always point out good choices in music, right? They have Royal Blood, they have Muse, they have Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, which all, if they were in a good movie, like, I'd be like, yeah, dope, I love this. I actually hated the fact that these songs came in. Like, it pissed me off hearing them.
The Royal Blood one was just so on the nose when it happened.
My god.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is where this is all coming down to. Like, every element of this movie is fundamentally broken. We're talking about the script, right, and how character motivations don't make sense and they don't take the time to really put in the plot development for their characters to have some type of development. And it's all over the place. But then you also look at the CGI. The CGI is not particularly amazing in it. In fact, sometimes it looks garbage. Number 2, the choreography of the action sequences are also terrible. They're just kind of like, throw Hellboy around and then eventually let him punch something, and then that works.
Yeah.
What? No! And then there's this moment towards the end of the movie where it's just gore for gore's sake. There's no rhyme or reason to it other than, hell people are bad and they're obviously gonna tear shit up, you know? And it's just like, hundreds and thousands of people die in the course of like 2 minutes, and then like the creatures go back to hell, and then London's just burning at the end of the movie, and it's like, oh, this is fine. Put in the meme of the dog here. This is fine. And like, that was me watching the movie. Like, this is fine. This is fine. God, it's so bad on every single level of a movie making.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing that you would put to your students in filmmaking class, I would assume, and be like, this is what you don't do.
Well, and it's crazy, too, because you have 2 actors, Ian McShane and David Harbour, in the 2 biggest roles.
In the movie, yeah.
And even they cannot
save it.
You can tell that they're trying.
I don't think Ian McShane did.
Oh,
well, Ian McShane's always serviceable.
Yeah.
I feel like David Harbour got directed by this guy to do this type of acting. So, like, they're committed, but they're committed to the wrong vision.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
And I love these actors. They're great.
You know they're good in other things.
But this movie really just does such terrible work to their acting.
Yeah,
it does not service them at all.
Right from the get-go, the movie opens up with this plot point, and this kind of, like, dude that's kind of like, well, it was a dark time, and it was bad shit, and wow, fuck that, huh? La la la. And you're and this fucking bad chick.
Well, it's narrated by Ian McShane, and they have him saying the dumbest shit. Like, you're talking about medieval times, and he's like, oh yeah, and they got really pissed off. Like,
and this chick was so bad they had to cut her up 5 times and still bury and lock away the key. Only a man of God can open this, you know?
And also, note to everyone that does Merlin in a movie.
Merlin.
Yeah, you can call him that because it isn't Merlin. Alright? Because he's Irish. I'm sorry. You don't make Merlin Irish. It doesn't work. It doesn't, because he's Scottish. He's supposed to be Scottish.
Again, it's back to what we're saying. The movie,
everything about this movie.
The movie's in this whatever the fuck attitude.
It does whatever it wants.
And it reflects the way that they treated Hellboy's character. Going back to the worst thing about the movie, Hellboy's character is whatever, I don't give a fuck, the entire movie, and thus also the movie represents itself that way throughout the entire experience. It's, I don't care, I'm just going on to the next thing. And the way Hellboy should work is he's a man of action. He stopped talking, let's go do it. And there's this scene where literally he's in a chair and he does this, what are we doing next thing? And it lasts forever. I, as a pitiful YouTube movie reviewer, know that when there's awkward breaks and ums and wah, you cut that out. You cut it out. And they linger there. Hellboy, the character of action and stop talking, literally keeps talking and has this worst, terrible pause of all fucking time. And it's just like, ugh.
And they try to add in this comedy that's...
It's like toilet humor.
They try to be like Marvel in the sense of comedic, you know, blobbity blue between serious action points, but you're also doing this in a rated R movie.
A scene with characters that are dying, a person or creature dies on a stick and then does a burp or like a fart or something, and you're like,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, it takes the worst parts of Marvel and the worst parts of DC, and it thinks that those will make two wrongs be a right.
There you go!
When it just makes 1,000 things wrong.
Alright. I think we've shat this out of our system enough now.
Yeah.
Where are we rating this movie? Because I have a particular score that I have in my head.
2.
2 from us! Deuces to Hellboy, the reboot of 2019! Fuck you! And let's go watch what's worthy!
Yes! Endgame comes out April 26th.
Go watch Endgame instead!
Yeah.
Don't watch this movie! Go watch Shazam!
Oh, Shazam!
Alright, we'll see you on the next review.
Yeah.